I'm a youth council coordinator, and what I do with the young people is I facilitate the development of their leadership skills. So that means anything from learning to be organized, learning to network, learning to do public speaking, understanding what it means to be a tribal citizen and what a sovereign nation is, and then also as well as our relationship with the state and federal government. There's several areas that the food plays with why I want our young people to learn about it. The first thing is that it's theirs, to take ownership over something that used to be ours. And in a way, it was taken away. The water stopped flowing, our food stopped growing, and we had nothing left to farm. So I was like, okay, government comes in and says, well, here's rations. This is military rations. You guys will make do. And we did. We did the best we could with what we had. And so I want young people to know this wasn't our traditional food. Our real traditional food is the tepary bean. Our real traditional food are these wheat berries. The real traditional food is squash and corn, and those were our traditional foods. And you can call whatever you want the commodity foods, but just to understand the difference. And the second part of that component is the nutritional value. And then the third part of that is the link that it brings us to our land, how it makes you feel that connection more with that food, knowing this is something that we've always eaten, this is something that we have always grown as a people, and knowing that this is a part of our land. We want that connection with our ancestors, we want that connection with all of our people, and it revolves around the tepary bean. One of the things that I'm really grateful for is that our ancestors, they fought to keep us here. There were several times throughout our history where they were really almost forced to move to Oklahoma. And so I'm really grateful that they made those decisions because we get to be on our ancestral land, and not all tribes can claim that.
These are your ancestral lands.
You have been able to stay here for all of these generations. You weren't moved off. Your ancestors made sure that you were able to stay. And so by being able to bring back these foods in the place where they always were cultivated, that has to be deeply meaningful.
Oh, absolutely. That is one of the most important things that we can talk about. We are right where our ancestors grew up. The river that used to run just beyond these fields here, those were the places where we received our water, not just to feed our crops and to feed ourselves and clean ourselves, but it was what we used to bless ourselves as well. So all of that is right here, and all of those families and all of the history and the sacrifice is right here in this soil.
When the river was dammed and then the water stopped flowing, that's when we went through the 40 years of famine. And during that time was when, unfortunately, a lot of our ancestors died.
We are very, very honored to still be here, and it is really important to our family to keep our farming traditions alive so that we can keep growing these foods right here that represent our ancestors and the struggle that they went through to get here and to keep us here.